dealing with transitions, because I loved in your commencement speech in 2014 how you talked about you start off your college career and you think, okay, I've got this figured out, or you think I'm really nervous, but the seniors have it all figured out. And then you get to that point and you have it figured out. And then you start off in the real world and it's back down, kind of a cycle. So how do you think you've dealt with that over time, that continuous motion of up and down?
Yeah, well, I don't think it ever really stops.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a good thing. I don't think I'd want it to stop because it's nice to feel comfortable and confident in where you are at in school or in a career or anything, but after a while it kind of gets boring, I think. And
Yeah.
so, I always try to keep at least one eye on the horizon in terms of looking for new ways to challenge myself and find ways for artistic and personal growth. And but I do think it gets a little bit easier each time you kind of find yourself back at the
Yeah.
quote unquote bottom of the heap in terms
Yeah.
of feeling like, whoa, there's so much for me to learn here to be able to feel more confident and comfortable in my surroundings. And so I think, with experience and, dare I say, wisdom, you just become a little bit more calm in realizing, all right, I may feel kind of uncomfortable with where I'm at right now, whether it's starting a new job or moving to a new part of the country to kind of establish your life. With time and with experience, it takes larger earthquakes to rattle you, basically. Moving out to LA was certainly a big jump for me. I grew up in Minneapolis, and then went to St. Norbert, but it was just something that I felt that I really had to do, at least to try it out, because I know that I was always gonna, if I didn't do it, I would always wonder what if, because it kind of had been a lifelong dream of mine to one day hopefully work in the movies, and I knew that if I didn't at least try that out, I could potentially be living with a regret all my life of just kind of, what would have that been like, So, but yeah, transitions are always difficult, but it's definitely a part of an interesting life, I guess.
How did you keep yourself motivated in those transitions?
The whole excitement of the adventure that I was on was great fuel for keeping me motivated and keeping me excited, because everything was new. At the same time, a lot of things were intimidating, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier of when you find yourself in a new situation, sometimes you feel like the smallest little ant and everybody else is running around like elephants, and you're just kind of in shock a little bit. The motivation, at least in the early parts, was kind of easy to come by, just because I felt like I was on this adventure, and I was pursuing my childhood dream, and what's going to happen, and working really hard to try and make that happen. But then some of that motivation does wane a little bit and fall off when things don't happen as quickly as you would like them to,
Yeah.
or maybe not in the way that you had envisioned them in your dreams. So it is a bit of a roller coaster at times, and I think with any career, probably any life, you're going to have that, and you just have to I think try to when times get tough, try to hold on to or go back to some of the things that have provided support and comfort to you throughout your life, whether that's family members or a really close friend, or I know you're an English major, so perhaps there's a book, some of your favorite books that have been inspirational to you, and that you go back to and you read over and over again or something, I pull that off from the shelf and, dive into that. For me, it's been art for quite a bit. So, the process of drawing and kind of exploring my imagination has always been a source of comfort and joy, really, for me. Sometimes a source of frustration too, because it can be that.
Yeah.
But overall, it's just been a very positive experience, and so I can kind of fall back on that too during times when things get a little difficult, and so that's been helpful.